All right, we are live on 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 our YouTube channel, Transparency and Merit, and also Inflammatory Talk. On our X channels, Transparency and Merit, Walk Against the Woke, which is Walk Woke, and Mr. Midnight Movie. So, as we start today, the title of the show is Post Floyd, Post COVID, Cities Destroyed, and urban exodus and economic shifts following the COVID lockdowns. There was noticeable trend of people moving out of big cities. The migration was partly due to remote working. Remote work became viable, leading to decline in urban demand for housing and commercial spaces. Discussion around this often highlights how cities like San Francisco, New York, and others experience. Joey, what's up? I'm on the show now, and you just got off. What happened?
Did you start the show?
Yeah, I have started the show, and I'm on right now.
Where's the link that you sent me? I can't find it.
It's in. Well, you were just in there. It's
Twitter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good God. All right. So that was my co-host, Joey. And let me go back to that. Urban decay and the cultural and social impact of the George Floyd death, some call it a murder, or many call it a murder, sparked widespread protest against what people believe was systematic racism and brutality, which is now, something that the cultural left believes. And if you question that, then you are treated as less than human. They just completely disregard you as a person. And here we go. We got Joey here. Joey is joining us, and
yes.
This is.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, post Floyd. Yes, post Floyd, and post COVID, post Floyd, cities destroyed. And I was inspired, by the way, to do this, Joey, after watching short little documentaries on both Santa Monica. We know a guy from Santa Monica, and which is my father's birth, Santa Monica, and San Francisco. Both places have been destroyed pretty much by since post-COVID and post-Floyd. We've become lax on crime, and there's a complete narrative about how things should be done, and these narratives have run amok amongst our nation and our country. Who's going to open up a business in places where you are likely to get robbed, and nothing is done about criminal degeneracy, particularly lots of shoplifting? Joey, do you have anything to add or say on that? I'm waiting for a response. Well, as I wait for a response, I'll just civilization and social cohesion.
I'm going, Brian.
Oh, okay. Oh, you left us for a bit. That does happen. Joey, did you hear anything that I said?
I did. I heard it. Yeah. Let's keep going though. I'll give you some commentary. Let's go.
Joey, feel free to just come in at any time. But civilization and social cohesion.
I will.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a narrative thread that suggests that Western civilization, particularly in the context of its urban centers, faces challenges of social cohesion due to rapid social changes, migration policies, and shifts in community structure. Discussion often delve into these factors, contribute to a sense of growing alienation, and reduce social trust in high trust societies. And we are moving away from high trust societies because we do not have, I guess, a shared reality on what is moral and what is not, and certain behaviors, and that is a difficult thing.
Yeah.
In infrastructure
Indeed.
and public services, the discussion. I mean, we can also talk about the urban infrastructure and with reduced population and tax bases like transit, which has seen decline in ridership post COVID. There has been concern with sufficient revenue from cities that might face a death spiral in terms of public service, potentially leading to scenarios where significant urban areas could resemble a cautionary tale like Flint, Michigan, if trends continue.
Yeah. Sounds a little fear mongering to me. People will pull together if they need to.
Well, like, this is something the likes of which I have never seen before. And then there's
Well,
the
they're making it sound like people can't fend for themselves in a situation like that when they can. So that's just my view.
yes. I mean, they can, perhaps.
Yeah. Are people
And
that disabled that they can't fend for themselves anymore? Is that too much to ask?
um, I think to a large extent there are a lot of people that are afraid, and there's a large male incel population that really are not capable at the moment and have limited skills.
Wah wah. Wah wah to them is what all
Yeah,
I have to say.
maybe went to them, and maybe there should be perhaps some tough love,
Yes.
and get out and get into the cold water and feel the breeze and feel the discomfort, but get out and do things, and don't be afraid of society. Don't be afraid of things. You can't have a plastic helmet for everything, Joey.
Can you be a little more specific? Afraid of what?
Failure, humiliation.
That really?
Oh yes.
You think that's holding too many people back? I don't even see it that way. I just people do not know what it means to self-govern anymore. It only took 2 generations to make everyone forget. Maybe they need a reminder, and that could be a little daunting for those not ready to hear it.
I think humiliation is a factor. I mean, when you don't know how to do things and you're not capable,
well, that's too bad. People get take their shots every day, and usually they fail. Most of the time they fail. A good jab here and there isn't bad, but it maybe is something. You might be right. I don't know. I'm not saying you're wrong. So
I'm curious to know how debilitating that factor is, because society is cruel and sometimes not very loving, and you don't want to fail and look, like the thing of looking foolish is a large factor. Particularly, I think
with your pants down isn't fun, but if it's time to put on your big boy pants and cope with that, if that's the case. So
Now, there is a culture war narrative. The phrase of this phrase encapsulates a broad spectrum conflicts ranging from political ideology, race relations, to urban versus rural divides. The sentiment on the platform like X often reflects a belief that these issues are not just policy debates, but represent a deeper cultural conflicts of values, history, and identity are contested.
Okay.
And I want to say, and this may be off topic, but I think the ADL has groups, nonprofits like the ADL has exacerbated the culture war. My sentiment that I'm expressing reflects a broader narrative found among some who discussions on the platform of X and other social media platforms
Mhm.
delve into the issue of free speech and censorship online. Uh, I criticize the ADL and groups. Their adv their ad their ad give their ad give they advocate in what they advocate in content moderation. They lean towards oftentimes like far left. I mean, you can call it far left, but they lean towards a culture that seems to be
Homogenized.
yeah. I mean, and they seem to their narrative is not necessarily the way I would go. And I think a boycott movement. There's a noticeable trend.
It's homogenized, Brian. It's materialism at its worst.
I don't think it's even materialism. It seems more like cultural capture than materialism, and it's ego.
I definitely
Don't agree.
It's not that I don't agree. It's just that to discount so quickly that people have these hangups is kind of maybe short-sighted, or myopic. But go on.
I do believe that do-gooders, in my opinion, are worse than capitalists who want to sell me something. Do-gooders want to control me.
Mm-hmm.
Crusaders want to control me.
Nerdywells.
Yeah, ne'er-do-wells. Yeah, that's what I used to be called by a guy. But I mean, to me, do-gooders and crusaders want to, think they're on a mission, and they have the high moral ground. And I prefer just greedy capitalists who want to sell me something than someone who wants to try to change the culture that I'm in. And they're doing it by economic intimidation and by force.
Capitalism for what, though? I mean, capitalism for dead instruments? Okay.
Well, capitalism for, if you sell me something that I want and I have money.
That you can never truly own in the system. But yeah, go on.
That's true. Maybe I can't, but I guess I can never really own a gun, or I can never own an AI robot, but it's there to protect me against those that want to do me harm, or the potential.
Well, the difference, of course, being you don't need a license for a robot, at least not that I know of. You at this point, there may be robots you need a license for, but for the most part, I don't. It's a little different from a gun, where you definitely need a license.
Yes. And, the Floyd situation and post-Floyd, the internet really the freedom of speech versus hate speech at the heart of the debate with my thing with the ADL and and other like woke organizations aiming to reduce hate and other forms of that it walks. The critiques are there's like I don't know what I'm kind of
Just
brainstorming.
a reminder, you are here with Transparency and Merit. I'm JP, and I'm here with Brian, who, as always, is fumbling through his thoughts.
Yes, I am.
Let's carry. I'm not doing much better. We'll try a little. We'll try a little bit more.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I just think that there needs to be public engagement and corporate accountability. There needs to be accountability.
Maybe transparency.
Transparency,
might be.
accountability. Accountability needs to work both ways, and Angela says, "Get woke." Never. Woke is going to die. Woke might die. January. What is it? If President Trump is sworn in, the world of woke might die. Then again, the world of woke might go strong because Angela's person, Kamala, might win. But if Trump wins, what does that mean for the world of woke and the culture war? Who knows?
Well, it's going to just get worse because he's a sellout to the Federal Reserve, just like Kamala.
Yeah, well, that's true. They both are the sellouts to the. Well, Angela thinks Harris will win, and that might, that might happen. Who knows?
Usually Angela's wrong. So, but it may be a little close to call at this point. I think maybe any lead that Kamala may have right now, I think that can easily be eviscerated. I think maybe we haven't seen the best of what Trump's gonna try to offer us. We shall see.
Yeah. I just think right now wokeness represents an overreach of leftist ideology into everyday.
What would Boss Ross say about Kamala?
Well, he would definitely mention her beginnings with downtown Willie Brown, or he might even call her downtown Kamala Brown, because she basically got her power and position through it seems like through basically sleeping with the sleep. I think she, to a degree, she seems like a person who slept her way to the top. Could be wrong, but
that's a tough one to prove. And even if it were, does anybody care?
I think right now people care about the culture war and what is. The thing is, we have felt the pandemic. We felt the pandemic. You and I have both witnessed people stealing from stores.
Yeah.
And we have felt the cultural dynamics and the cultural shifts in this country. And I, for one, am disgusted, completely disgusted by what has gone on in these cities with regard to degenerate crime and nothing being done about it. And I want, I'm sick and tired of this. I want some pushback. I want to be able to give reciprocity to those who wish to do harm. That's just human nature. When I see something that is irrational and toxic and abusive, I want some pushback. I don't want this to be the norm.
Right.
And that's, my biggest, that's why I created Walk Against the Woke, because I want pushback. I want, there's not significant enough push. In my opinion, the best way you do that is by boycotting. And the first group that I would boycott is probably the ADL and the Color of Change. Those two groups, boycott their corporate sponsors and go from there, and then find other alternatives to people that support groups like that. And, like I said, build your own.
Build it and they shall come.
Well, build your own. I mean, just like, build your own community, build your own community of non-midwit people who think they're better. These people basically treat us like peasants, Joey. Like we're not even worthy to talk to. We're not human to them. If you're not part of the legacy media, you're not human. So if we're not human or good enough to talk to, hey, we'll go our own way and you go your way and I'll go mine. You leave me alone, I'll leave you alone. Don't talk to me. I don't want to address you. I don't want to deal with you. You're a midwit. What's to say? You don't even want me to talk. So there's nothing to if you don't want me to talk, I sure as hell don't want to listen to you.
Good.
That's the way I feel about groups like the ADL. You just want to do the talking, that ain't working. If I can't address you back, if I'm not human enough, if my voice isn't welcome, then my money shouldn't be welcome either, Joey.
Good point.
And I see a lot of people wearing masks, and to a degree, I just feel like they're kind of creepy. They're kind of they're kind of weird. They're and I think that they're just toxic human beings. That the less dealings I have with them, the better. Anyway, Joey, is there anything to add before I call this show a day?
I think that's good. I think we're where we want to go with that.
Okay. Well, guys, thanks for listening. And I promise to do a better show next time. I was a little bit caught up in my own words, and gosh darn it. So I do thank you for listening, and I hope to gain a better understanding. Like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Sorry I got lost in my words and stuff. Thank you guys so much. Anything to add, Joey, before I call the show a day? Or did I already ask that?
No, I think we covered it. We're speaking with our wallets, and I haven't seen a weakness in that methodology at all. I think it works. So we're going to get pressed on.
The best way to deal with it is to deal with your wallet. Thanks for listening.